Welcome ladies and gentlemen, it is Soulfax here and you're watching me attempt to cast Starcraft 2, yay! We have another cast here. I know I've been gone for a few days, but that was mainly because have been having some problems with my computer. Like, my processor was overheating extremely and I wasn't able to record at normal speed. I have been able to find a fix for it. I haven't fixed it yet. I just need to apply some cream on the back of the cooler that goes on the processor, so it's all totally normal. Now let's start casting this game by introducing our players. Of course, playing in the left-hand side corner of Ohana, playing in the stylish purple color representing the race Zerg. It is kNo. So kNo is playing against his opponent who's playing the race Stern, playing in the red pants. It is Hordeon. Yes, Team EchO's Hordeon. He's off racing for this match. He said it to me and he's like off race and I'm like, yeah, off racing Terran. Everybody loves to play Terran, even though it's like the, I wouldn't say the weakest race in Wings of Liberty. I don't know about Heart of the Swarm. I haven't got a beta key, so I'm not in a beta yet. If I got a beta key, I will be able to tell you if it's the weakest, what kind of race it is in Wings of Liberty. But at this point in time, I believe it's one of the weakest races in Wings of Liberty. Did I say? Okay, it doesn't matter what I said. Yes, so we're casting this game. No early pool from kNo here. Kind of unfortunate. I want to see an early pool. I played against a lot of early pools in Bronze League lately, and I haven't been able to deal with them, except the 8 pool. 8 pool is such a deadly thing because it hits just a little bit later than a 6 pool, which hits around 6 minutes. I mean 3 minutes, excuse me. 8 pool, by that standards, probably is going to hit around, I believe, 4 minutes or something along those lines. 4:30 minutes. So yeah, it's very deadly thing. So we see kNo is going for hatchery first, while his opponent is going for a standard play, barracks on 12, and he's going to be probably going for 1 rack expand because that is a very normal play, normal thing to do when you're playing against a Zerg, which is who is going for hatchery first, putting down Panic Pool right behind that. Nice saturation at the main base here, which is as expected because this is a Masters League replay. And oh, we see one SCV idling here. Where are those 400 minerals? Where are my 400 minerals? I want to build a command center. And 3, 2, 1, command center. Yes, command center. I totally nailed it. So yeah, normal play for both of these players. A little bit delayed. Oh no, it's not delayed. It's 15 supply here. Command center. I mean orbital command here going down for Hordeon. So he is not primarily a Terran player, but he's executing this build good for from what I see now. He hasn't missed anything. A clean play from him, while his opponent is absolutely doing nothing. He's just playing as every other Zerg would play when he's playing against a Terran player. Hatch first, then go into spawning pool, then build a few links, build 2 queens, saturate your base, then go for a 3rd base after adding a baling nest. That is what I would do, but he might not do it. We'll see what he does. He actually makes a 2 queens, so yeah, I was not so far off here. So he has not completed the wall off here at the front of the base. That is a little bit of misplay from him. I wouldn't call it a vital misplay, just a little bit he will allow his opponent scouting here. But one thing I was confused about is he is not going for Reactor Hellion. Reactor Hellion is such a common play to go against when you're playing against a Zerg who early expands, that almost every player that I've played against while playing Zerg has used it on me. He's getting 2 gases now at this point in time before getting barracks, which is again not something that I would recommend. You usually want to get your 2 more barracks or at least a factory before you're getting gases, but what this means, he can't get a factory, he can't play mech just yet. He needs to get 100 gases to put down a factory here, and from what I see, he hasn't put down any more barracks. Even though he has the minerals to put down barracks, he's only put down 1 barracks with no add-ons on it, and now he's gonna go for a factory at this next 100 minerals, I believe. Let us see what he decides to do with next 100 gas, excuse me, not minerals, gas. Well, his opponent is going for a 3rd base here. Very standard play for a Zerg player. 2 queens on the field, a few links, gonna be just poking out to see what his opponent has, and that is why I think he should have actually walled off here, because those link can run through the Marines here very effectively. And now Hordeon is going for a factory here at the 6-minute mark, almost 6-minute mark here. So his opponent scouted this, so he knows he's going to be going for a late Reactor Hellion play here, and I don't think it's gonna be so effective here because his opponent has a few links on the field. He has 2 queens, 3rd queen being built, I believe. No, 3rd queen is not yet being built. 3rd queen is already built here, excuse me. So he has some defense against this. 1 spy crawler could be able to deal with all of this here. And what does it say? Is supply blocked? He is supply blocked. What happened there? Oh, they had a little mishap here. They attacked the Marines. Don't attack the Marines. Now, In the meantime, the factory is finished. The switcheroo is gonna be going down very quickly here. So, oh, 1-1-1 from Hordeon actually. Maybe a Banshee play following this right after the one alien that is going out. We will see here. Banshee plays are effective against Zerg, but a little bit earlier. Banshees, if you're going for a clean Banshee play without an expansion, Banshees usually hit around 7 minutes, and his Banshee is gonna be just a little bit late, while his opponent is getting 2 gas at this point in time. He's at 4 gas here, so he will have a nice gas hit ratio. He might go for a Baning Nest. He has speed on the way, late speed at 730 here. So yeah, we'll see what Hordeon decides to do. He's building actually four Hellions here at this point in time. He might want to do a switcheroo at this point in time. Yes, he's going to do a switcheroo. The starport is going down on that tech lab, so he will be getting some Banshees out. Now the question is, he has 2 gases. Will he go for Cloak, or will he just go for a few Banshees and then transition into Mech or whatever he wants to transition into? Oh, there's a Cloak. So we will be seeing some Cloak Banshees here in a moment. And oh, a nice response from kNo here, going for that double evolution chamber, which will allow him to put Spock Rollers down in his mineral lines here. He's nice saturating that second base here. Actually, no, that is not nice saturation, excuse me. He's not building any drones at this point in time, which is kind of weird. I think he maybe misclicked. He might not. He's putting down a Roach Horn here, so he is going for that early Roach play to be able to fend off against any early aggression here. Not a lot of creep spread here, and now he's trying to poke in the main base. There's a lot of units here. He doesn't want to do that. He needs to actually fall back, because there's not a lot to kill this third base, and the second base, the natural base, is actually very well protected here from kNo. He's actually probably gonna wait for those Banshees to come over here. The Banshee will probably hit as soon as this cloaking field is over. He might want to wait for it, but now he's trying to advance here, trying to take down those Banshees, Hellions, excuse me, but he's not going to be able to do it, because there's more Banshees than those Zerglings can actually handle. In the meantime, he's getting 1-1. I think that his opponent has decided not to do just yet. He didn't put down that double evolution, and excuse me, he did put down that double engineering base, so he will be transitioning into Mech just right about now. He's going for the third command center here, so he's going for a big macro play here with minimal defenses behind it. He has a lot of Hellions actually here, and 1 Banshee just sitting out here waiting for the Cloak to finish. That Cloak did finish, so he's building just a few more Banshees, I believe, and go to attack his opponent. Both of these players are playing very standard game, going for that infestation pit here at the main, as well as Hive, lair, excuse me, has been already built. A very early lair. A 10-minute lair is kind of early for him, and now we'll see what this game develops into. He's getting a Baneling Nest somewhere around here. Here's the Baneling, so he might be going for that Zergling Infestor play here. We'll see what he says to. And now the cancellation on the 4th base here. Nice play from Hordeon here, going for the cancellation. And now this is going to be a formidable force for kNo to handle here, because there's not a lot of defensive units. He's trying to morph in a few units here, but that's not enough. He's going to be able to do so much damage, and those Banshees are cloaking here, and the Hellions are totally annihilating all of those Zerglings. Those Banshees could be doing a lot more damage if they went to the main and targeted down the drone, but he's deciding to support his Hellions here and do even more damage. And now, oh, don't get this around here. Great play from Hordeon. He managed to keep some of his Hellions alive here. Not a lot of them, but some of them are alive. He should actually go for the main base here now, because those roaches are popping out. Those roaches will be able to easily counter those Hellions here. He needs to fall back, because he's probably going to lose 1 or 2 more here. Hey, yes, he's going to lose 1 or 2 more here. Maybe a little misplay here. Don't know why that scan went out. He wanted to get rid of a few Spock Rollers, and now, oh, those Banshees, nothing can attack those Banshees. Those Banshees are just going to stay there. He's pulling out 1 Queen here, but that 1 Queen can handle 2 Banshees. Now he's going to go for a counterattack, which is a sensible thing. Probably going to wait for those Infestors to finish here. He needs to do some damage to his opponent, but from what I see here, Hordeon is going for that Banshee play very hard here. He's producing a lot of Banshees. He already got 3 on the field. He's putting a few more here, but I don't think that kNo will be able to bust through this, because those Banshees will be able to shut this down very effectively. Hordeon should actually move his units back and let the 4 Banshees do their work, because 4 Banshees against a few Roaches here can do a lot of damage. But yeah, so he's gonna totally annihilate this. He's going for 2-2. 2-2 is probably just finished here. Let me see. No 2-2. He's not gonna be going for 2-2 just yet. He has the minerals and gas to do it. He's keeping his opponent at 3rd base here. 3 bases here. He's got a few Infestors out, but He's in a bad position, I believe. He has the advantage of having one more base, but he doesn't have the production he wants. He only has a few units on the field, as you can see. He only has 21 Zerglings and 4 Infestors that can attack his opponent. Well, his opponent has the perfect counter for that. He has a few Marines, a few Hellions, and a lot of Banshees on the field, which is, of course, a perfect counter to those units because they don't have a lot of AA. The only AA kNo at this point of time are those Infestors, which are not so good against mass area units, especially when they have Cloak. Now, 4 more Infestors will be popping out for our Zerg player here, as well as Centrifugal Hooks being researched. So some Banelings, I love Baneling plays here on the field. Now, one thing that we didn't see in this match were tanks, and this is gonna be happening quite soon now because Hordeon is researching that siege mode. He needs to get the 3rd command center down. He did it already. I kind of missed it just a little bit. He probably is gonna go and concentrate on producing a lot of SCVs at this point in time. He's actually not doing that. Well, it's his call. I mean, it's his call, and kNo is gonna get supply block here in just a few seconds if he doesn't decide to do something about it. Yes, he has 4 overlords on the way, but he's still gonna be supply block for a few seconds here, I believe, while his opponent is vigorously making a lot of Marines and a lot of tanks here, only one at a time. But he's gonna be transitioning into that into that mech play here. Oh no! A fun goes down on those poor Hellions here. Where are the Infested Terrans? Those have a lot of energy, and now he's gonna be able to get away with this, at least with 1 Hellion remaining. I mean, 1 Banshee remaining. Those 2 Banshees gonna go through the side, trying to target down the mineral lines here. He actually should do that. There was a lot of drones unprotected here. Only 1 Spock Roller and those 2 Hellions. I mean, Banshees can deal with 2 Spock Rollers here. In the meantime, Hordeon is making a force here in the middle to try to advance here. The thing that is gonna halt his advantage here probably is the amount of creep spread that kNo has at this point in time. He has a lot of creep spread, almost reaching to the second Zelnaga tower here, which is not very common, but it is 15 minutes in the game. He's not reaching his creep spread up to the 5th base or the 4th base here, so he is content on playing on 3 base, but that means that he's not gonna have a lot of larva to work with. He has a few Banelings on the field. Yeah, a few Banelings on the field because he is playing against primarily a bio army here with a few tanks and a few Hellions just to support this bio army, as you can see. So we will see what he decides to do. Those Banshees are again harassing the the Infestors here. Poor Infestors can't do anything here. They're just trying to funnel them and stop them from doing damage, but those Banshees are really doing a lot of damage here. 1 Infestor Terran getting popped out. Only 1 Infestor Terran getting popped out. That is questionable decision, to be sure here. Oh, no Cloak for that Banshee. Oh, poor Banshee, poor Banshee. And really, those Banshees are doing a lot of damage throughout this whole game. A great decision for Hordeon to go for those Banshees because he knows that Zerg doesn't have a lot of anti-air if he doesn't decide to put down a Spire, excuse me, or a Hydralisk, then, which he didn't decide to do. He's building a big army in the middle. He's got a lot of Marines here which will have 2-2 just in a few seconds here, I believe, or 2-2 might have finished already. Yes, 2-2 has finished already, and at this point in time, he really needs to be afraid of, how do you call them? Afraid of, not Ultra Lords, Brood Lords, because his opponent is putting down a Spire somewhere around here, probably in his main base. No, yes, in his main base is going down a Spire, and he is evolving into Lair already, so we will see what he decides to do here. He will probably go for those Brutalists here, sending 1 small Marine hit squad here to probably deal with a few, how do you call them, creep tumors here, but all of those Zerglings will go and surround them because no amount of micro can save you against that. Oh, 4 Marines here, and even Bailey is gonna come in the mix. It's a big whirlpool of Zerglings just running around those Marines here. I really think that Hordeon needs to split his units just a little bit better here. He's got them all clumped up, and if a few Banelings rush into here, 2 tanks will not be able to stop them without... Oh, okay, that's like 5 tanks here. Never mind. The thing he has been missing is actually medevac production. He only has 2 medevacs on the field. He has his 4th base on the way here. 3rd base is saturated here completely, so he has good economy. He really needs to produce just more units, and ooh, a big swell of units coming down here. Back off, says the Zerglings here, and a big batch of, ooh, oh my god, that's a lot of Banelings being morphed here. But the perfect counter to Banelings is good splitting and a lot of tanks, which he has here. And the thing I want to see from, oh, a Burned Infestor going to the middle here. He might be able to do something like throw Fungal down. If he decides to pop out, oh, just gonna throw a few Infestor, that's not gonna be able to do anything here. That was probably, I think, oh, Poor Infestor here. Poor Infestor. Now we see both of these players are almost max here. Okay, excuse me. Hordeon is almost max here. Well, his opponent is 100 is at 150 supply here. So Hordeon should really push up at this point in time. He has that three base saturation here. Has a lot of minerals at the back. He could actually just continue to throw units at his opponent and just like continue harassing him. Another Infestor going down to this main base here, and what I think he should do is actually try to distract his opponent with a few Zerglings at the front and then go for a fungal on those units. A big double drop coming down the middle, and now he's decided to advance from both sides, trying to flank his opponent, but that's a lot of Marines, a lot of Zerglings here. But the big mistake that Hordeon did is lift those units. All of those Marines are gonna go down. Those tanks are still standing, and those Infestors are in such a bad position. He's dropping it down. All of those Infestors will go down here. Oh, I don't know which one of those players got really hurt here. I think that Hordeon got the worst end of that fight here, but he has still a few units surviving here in the middle here, dealing with those units. He's got 2 medevacs. The problem that he didn't have is 2 medevacs, and he had really bad splitting. He had all of his units clumped up here. He really should split them up even more here, because his opponent is actually not doing anything. He's not rebuilding his army. He has a lot of minerals in the bank. He's not building a great Spire. He's not going for 3-3. He's only working now on, he's only got 1-1 here, which is, what is he doing? I don't know. What is he doing? 2 planetary forces, the force base here. Those 2 planetary forces pack a really big punch here. In the meantime, I mean, Hordeon doesn't have any problem rebuilding this army. He has a lot of barracks here. He has doesn't have a lot of barracks, excuse me. He has only like 7 barracks here, 6 barracks here, 7 barracks here, excuse me. But he has a lot of starports. He has like 3 starports with reactors on them, so he can possibly make 6 Vikings in a row. So he's gonna be transitioning into Viking and Thor here to get that ground and air control here. So we will see what he decides to do. He's gonna be cleaning a few creep tumors here to just push that creep back and advance to the left side, because the left side is less effective but not creep here. But kNo really needs to suppress his opponent here. And now a good concave from Hordeon here, moving his units to the back here. But again, he's gonna get annihilated because he didn't split his unit. He just put them there, left them there to do the micro all of themselves. Those Infestors just burrow and spitting out a few Infestor Terran to deal with the Vikings and the other air units here. But again, Hordeon is making 60 Marines at a time, which have 3-3 here. I believe they have 3-3. Maybe he did skip it. They don't have 3-3. Okay, that is kinda, I think he probably forgot about it, but let's be honest, this is not his main race. He's a Zerg as a main, he's off racing here, and we see the Corruptors going down even before the Greater Spire is gonna go down, so probably he's not gonna go for Broodlords here. He's just gonna go continue with those Infestors and Zerglings, which is not the best idea against a bio army. He needs a lot of Banelings in that mix here, but his opponents has already got on top of this, only now working on 3-3-3, so Terran Vehicle Weapons 3, as well as ground armor and ground weapons for the infantry here. So those stores will pack a really punch when they get 3-3. And now I really think the Hordeon should really go for it with the small amount of units that he has. Siege up on his opponent's fort base here, and just try to contain it with good splitting here, because his opponent doesn't have a lot. He has a few Infestors on the, okay, that's a lot of Infestors. He has a lot of Infestors on the ground with a lot of energy. The problem he doesn't have is ground army. He's only now working on his Greatest Spire, which is a bad play from him. He should have actually been working on his Greatest Spire before he decided to go for any Corruptors. At 50% Greatest Spire is the time you need to be building your Corruptors, and I don't know what Hordeon is doing. He probably trying to get rid of those Corruptors here, but he's sacrificing a lot of his units. He can't get rid of that Queen, which is slowly picking away at his units here. And now this is a great game, actually, kind of a slow game. Both of these players not deciding to do any kind of weird plays here. And I mean, Hordeon should have attacked really a long time ago. He has a big force here. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of tanks, but he has a lot of Marines. Those Marines are all he needs, because his opponent is just going for Corruptors and for Zerglings at this point in time. He has a few, how do you call them? Not Hellions. Yes, he has a few Infestors here. That's all he has. And now those Vikings will get cleaned up for a misplay from Hordeon. He is probably trying to delay those Broodlords here, because those Broodlords are very deadly. But when those Broodlords hit, Hordeon will already have 3-3 and will have a substantial amount of units here. He will have 3 attack with those stores, while his opponent is I mean, his opponent is really late on his Broodlords. His opponent has a lot of gas and a lot of minerals. Those gas is just a little bit lower, has only 2k gas. He really needs to start making a lot of Broodlords. And oh, look at this. Hordeon is going for a big attack at the fort base here, but that's planetary fortress here. All of those workers are gonna get killed if the planetary fortress don't do their job, which they can because all of those organs are too close for them to do their job. Oh, all of those workers, poor workers here. That's gonna cripple the economy of Hordeon extremely here. And those units are not attacking for whatever reason. He could have killed a lot more here, but he wasn't attacking. In the meantime, he's making 14 Broodlords here at the middle of the field, so he's gonna be attacking here. And Hordeon really has put himself in a bad position because he waited too long for this to attack. And now a big clash in the middle. Those Taurs will be targeting down those Broodlords, but Banelings go down first. But a good split this time from Hordeon, but still loses a lot of units here. And oh, if he had a few Ravens, he would be able to do so much damage to those Broodlords. But Broodlords still taking a lot of damage from the Vikings and from the now dead Taurs. Broodlords are slowly going down, and now the tanks and marines come into play, but there's still big ground army from kNo here, a lot of infestors here from him. He lost a lot of those Zerglings, a few Zerglings remaining here, trying to get down and destroy those tanks, which will be able to do. They will be able to do, and one SCV, a brave SCV, is repairing those tanks in the middle of this whole battle here. And those Broodlords will definitely go down because there's nothing to tank the Vikings in the air. Yeah, now the Vikings get cleaned up, but still, he killed like 11 Broodlords there, only 3 Broodlords remaining for kNo. He didn't rebuild the Corruptors right after he built those Broodlords. He's only now building 8 Corruptors. He will be able to build more Broodlords here, but look at this, he doesn't have any bank. He has only 800 gas at this point in time, while his opponent is going for 5th base. He got his 5th base from some time now, not saturated him, not working on gas from it, but he has still a big army in the middle here. Only 3 Broodlords are overextending themselves. There's no anti-air at this 3rd base, 4th, 5th, whatever base this is, but they're gonna just decide to pull back. And now in nuke, researching nuke, 3 goes from Hordeon. This is gonna be great, but I don't think this is a good idea from kNo to engage that, because there's a lot of anti-air units here to deal with those Broodlords here, which will actually not go down because those Corruptors are aiming at the Taurs, which are going down, and there's not a lot of Vikings on the field. There's 6 at a time, but that's not enough, and now more Vikings going on the field. They will be able to take care of these few Corruptors that are still on the field. Tanks going down, tanks doing a lot of damage to the ground units of kNo. He's even brought his queens up here, very slow queens, and those Corruptors are getting dealt with. And now GG from Hordeon, definitely a GG. And oh, he's throwing down a nuke at almost at his base here. It will be in the range of those Broodlords here. Don't decide to move. Look at this. No, don't decide to move. He scanned them, and right on the money. Bye bye Broodlords. Boom. Oh, actually 2 of them survive here, which is kind of fortunate. He could have actually decided just to move up and two-shot both of those, and he even decided to destroy some vegetation here. And now his opponent, he's going for Reapers. What? He's going for Reapers at 28 minutes into the game? That's extreme here. He's going for another nuke. Well, his opponent is going for Roaches because he doesn't have the minerals or the gas to support further Broodlord production. He only has 2 Broodlords. He doesn't have any ground army except a few of those Roaches here, which will be able to taken care by those marines here. But Hordeon is also very low on his minerals. He's mining at that 4th base extremely here. The 5th base is getting saturated, so he has 2 base saturation here. 3rd, 2nd, and the main are totally mined out here. He's got Hordeon, you left 105 minerals at the main base. That's like 2 marines and 5 minerals to spare. Now he's gonna be sending a few marines out here just to scout. I mean, scouting marines are always a good thing. And both of these players are in a similar position, but I think the Hordeon has the advantage because his opponent is only now working on his upgrade. He has a big upgrade advantage. He has 3-3 on all of his units. He has 3, attack for his mech army. He has 3-3 for his bio army. And the thing he has is air control, but his opponent is easily countering that by making just a whole bunch of Roaches. And by a whole bunch of Roaches, I mean he's already got 45 Roaches. The field is making 8 more, so he will be at 90 Roaches soon. 50 Roaches, 90 Roaches, and a new going down. It's Lagatau. Oh, all of those units are enraged. He needs to get rid of that one ghost. Where is that one ghost? Oh, please move those units just a little bit. He's moving them in the no, get away from that. Oh, it's gonna hit on all of the units, and no, almost at the last second here he managed to decide from it, but kNo is now max. He's gonna decide to go in here, and Hordeon doesn't have a lot of units. All of his supply is in those Vikings here, and he doesn't have any ground units. Those Marines are not even attacking here because they know that they don't have any chance. He needs to land the Vikings. He has any chance of actually defending against this. Land the Vikings, dude. Land the Vikings. No, he's just gonna stop and decide to actually throw his army out of the window here. But actually, those, how do you call them? Those Thors are taking a lot of damage. He's able to defeat this maxed army of kNo here, which is vigorous rebuilding it by making 32 roaches at a time here. And Hordeon manages to defend against this, and what he needs to do now is just build a whole freaking bunch of Marines and attack his opponent, because his opponent is very weak now and those roaches fall so easily to Marines. He's making 2 more Thors and 6 medevacs. I think he's been missing this whole game are medevacs. I mean, where are you medevacs, dude? If you're going for a bio army, you need medevacs. He's actually was not going for a bio army for the remainder of this game. He's been doing some weird stuff. I mean, I really gotta say, weird stuff. And our big clash in the middle again, and I think that he will be able to deal with this because there's a lot of units here for Hordeon. There's even 3 Thors on the field that are doing so much damage to those roaches here. He has a few of those marauders here, landing the Vikings here, and a couple up below. Okay, I don't even understand that. BBZ, and oh, so much damage done to those roaches. But still, Hordeon again loses all of his Marines here, but he is steadily making his marauders here, so he will be able to do with this. And a GG coming from kNo. So Hordeon managed to defeat his opponent while he's off racing. A great game, a little bit of a slow game here, but a great game, a 32-minute game. Well, like 3 bases got mined out here. Both of the players had 5 bases on Ohana, which is not a common thing to see indeed. And I think that Hordeon could have dealt with this a lot earlier here if he just built bio units strictly and decided to attack his opponent. He would have been able to deal with this a lot sooner, not let this game drag out for like 30 minutes and make me lose my voice, almost lose my voice. Did I lose my voice? Okay, I hope you enjoyed this episode, this cast, excuse me. My name has been Soulfax. Until next time, guys, keep it steady and carry on.